Valentine's Day. What better time to look at some of gaming's best couples? I'll be looking at how cute or sweet they appear, how happy, how interesting, or how classy their relationship is depicted. The only exclusions are relationships that are not confirmed or nearly confirmed. For example, as much as pop culture depicts Mario and Peach as a couple, as much as Peach flirts with and teases Mario, there is no reason to believe Mario isn't being manipulated and his Facebook still reads single. Also, probably not many Fire Emblem couples unless they are destined or the canon pairing. This is an honorable mention because it is impossible, but when playing Awakening, Cordelia was one of my top ships for Chrom. Like I wasn't sure between the other top choice, I knew how it would end though since Cordelia is stupid and won't even allow Chrom the choice of her despite being in love with him. Even after marrying another man and Chrom marrying his wife, she doesn't stop longing for Chrom. Because she's the stupidest character I've seen in a long time. Chrom and Cordelia would have been perfect together, though. I think Nintendo did this intentionally for whatever reason. Lesson to be learned, viewers. You don't have the right to deny a relationship with someone because you don't think you are good enough for them. They get to decide that. You don't choose who somebody ends up with. Maybe that was Nintendo's message. Honestly, this is one of the most shallow relationships of all time. I don't know what Mario saw and sees to still mess around with her while pursuing Peach and sometimes Daisy. Pauline looks high maintenance. Ridiculously high maintenance. But still, Mario may or may not be paying the third DK's buddy to play the villain. Maybe it's one of Pauline's kinks. And dare I say, Mario and Peach feel like a more genuine, realistic relationship, even though Mario isn't a complex, deep character. So why is this on the list? Because I can't think of a prior relationship in gaming before this short-lived pairing. Unless Custer's Revenge came first, so for being probably the first, debatably healthy relationship in gaming, Mario and Pauline! Earthbound may have loosely implied Ness and Paula had started dating, but there was no awkward scene of young children dancing romantically, confessing their love, and a long silent pause as they stand embraced following their dance. And then a random robot attacks. Mother 1 or Earthbound 0 did have all that though, and the 8-bit dancing to the sensual music definitely made the scene memorable. I'll just let you watch it for yourself at normal speed. It's not often a relationship can stand out quite so much without seeing both parties and how they interact. However, Admiral Bobbery's relationship you must learn about tells a touching tale of true love and the way it affected Bobbery. You know Bobbery and Scarlet were a great couple while it lasted. This may be controversial. The scene that most defined this relationship is often considered very campy voice acting, and some say unrealistic. It is super campy. But honestly, Zero's reaction is surprisingly realistic, even if its presentation could be better. If the woman you loved was dying in your arms, your emotions would be very similar. Zero's asking what he's fighting for does make sense though, given the entire game one of the big reasons he's been fighting is so he can be with Iris, and now he can't. Despite all of the gods, demons, and angels Bomberman found himself surrounded by, there was a love story being told too. Lilith and Rukafeld were also caught in the crossfire here, originally partners and lovers before being turned adversaries by warring deities. The bad ending even has them tragically die.
I am so proud of you, I could just...
I think Geo Stellar's two love interests both tell a more compelling romance. But there is no way of saying who Geo will end up with, even though most guess it is Geo Sonia and Bud Luna. Despite Leon being quite the ladies' man, including wooing much older women in reverse pedophilia, it is canon he ends up with male. Yes, I said no Fire Emblem pairings unless they were destined or canon. This is the canonical pairing. The other pairings are non-canon. Hold your flames!
Better hold on tight, Captain. Could get bumpy.
Mechanically, unless you actually put conscious effort in choosing another wife, Chrom will almost always marry Sumia automatically. Sumia has been programmed in any love tie to win, since Lucina has to have a mother. Not to mention Sumia is thrown at Chrom with chemistry ablaze, and she's the most practical and useful unit to pair with Chrom in the chapter she joins in the next few chapters. Plus the game's opening shows her as Chrom's wife. Lords are usually complemented very well by flying units. Are we good with why I can have this? I think Sumia and Chrom make a good pairing. She is an adorable dork and very sweet. Chrom deserves a girl like that. I was tempted to choose Dr. Vega and Altair over these two. However, their relationship was more tell than show, even though it was told well. Ace and Tia are a little more cliché, but it still is tragic the time they cannot be together, and as much as Ace refuses to give up. It's a toss-up, honestly. The idea of loving a man so much you replicate his body and try to revive him is similarly sweet, and kind of creepy actually. There was Donkey Kong and Candy before Diddy and Dixie started dating, but I'm not convinced Candy is faithful to DK. In fact, I'm pretty sure she isn't. But Dixie and Diddy seem to be faithful and happy together after all these years. It's a good thing because Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest taught us the two work extremely well together, both being a cute chip couple and relying on each other's strengths to overcome whatever obstacles they encounter. If you've played Xenoblade, you know how cute these two are, and brace yourselves for spoilers. Go play the game if you haven't, you should, or at least watch an LP of it. just consume Xenoblades in some way. When Fiora dies, Shulk's heartache echoes and remains as he gives in further and further into dreams of revenge. Then when he reunites with Machina Fiora, it is so sweet to see he doesn't care she is a robot. He still loves her, and will try to get her body back, but if not, he isn't going to let her being a robot get in the way. And now for number 1, Sonic and Princess Elise. If there was one good thing to come out of Sonic 06, it was this soft-core furry romance. You know you loved it. It's no use! Okay, now the real number 1. Who else could be number 1? You all know how much I love this game's plot, and really everything about this game. And again, you need to go play it if you haven't. Or an LP if you really must insist. It could just be Tobero Mono that has brought them to number 1 though. Which how the hell did that not make it into Smash Brothers? Tobero Mono might make all the other previous entries feel better too though. Whoever said games were nothing but violence and shooting and would increase violence? Games have depicted relationships in varying quality throughout the years, and hopefully games will continue to tell better and better love stories, including more platonic love stories of friendship. What better motivates heroes to be courageous and amazing besides love? So episode question! What kind of stories and games appeal to you most? So on the left side, today you can click to learn about all the gods and demons and crazy stuff Hudson hid in Bomberman 64 The Second Attack. And on the right, we have the Parmesan roasted Problems with Gamings from the start of the season, with a side of cherry guacamole chutney for garnish. Enjoy!